Hello everybody, Roger from Skateboard Canada, and thanks for joining me. Another episode, another show. The world of skateboarding contains many features and many items. Many people, many mags, and many boards, and we're here to feature it once again, so thanks for tuning in. Where do we start, folks? Something new? Sure. Local skate shops, you know we always say to support them. And there's local brands, there's national brands. All the way from Montreal, Quebec. We just got some boards into my local skate shop. These come from Control Skateboards, and they're super nice Canadian maple, pressed out in Quebec, and they just sent them over to us. So thanks very much, Control Skateboards. Love your products, love your boards. Keep them coming. These are blanks, but they make most of the shop boards in Canada. A lot of shop boards. So check out Control Skateboards. They're on the gram. Go down to your local shop and ask for a Control skateboard. Lots of good brands in Canada. Control is one of them. And we like to talk about them. So good stuff. Thank you, Control. Now, just a little talk about the products this week. We're talking about the mags more because this is new Thrasher week. And we'll get to that in a sec here, but check it out. Old Thrasher. Thanks to Kevin at Look Back Library, all the way down in San Diego, California. And we talked to Kevin back and forth. He's the skateboard magazine master, and he's running the skateboard preservation called Look Back Library. Again, check him out on the gram, and we're talking about some old and new stuff this time around. Now, Ryan Johnson, remember him? New Deal Pro, super sick. He came to Slam City one year, and we were talking to Ryan, and we said, hey Ryan, what's up with that cover of Thrasher? And he was super stoked that we mentioned that to him. He told us how he had to go to the hospital. Got the cover, but he went to the hospital, took one to the chin. Tough one. Okay, Colin McKay, Canadian legend. We like to talk about the Canadian guys that make the American covers. That's big stuff. It's a big pool out there. Colin McKay has done well. You all know that. Plan B skateboards, Red Dragons, a living legend for sure. Colin McKay, we're lucky to have him. Another legend from out east, called Ottawa East. Done amazingly well. Rick McCrank, super cool, cover of Transworld. This is why we save these mags. You know, some of these mags, they get to be 10, 15, 20, 30 years old. Super good to hang on to them, folks. They're good to read, too, not just the covers. Check it out, Appleyard. Nice work getting that Transworld cover. Super sick. Backside flipping, right to the newsstand. What do we got? We got a few here. We got a few. Now, remember Big Brother? Big Brother's already done. Rest in peace. Well, this is a classic old Big Brother. Taz Papaz, autographed cover, kickflip Indy, Plan B ramp. This one goes way back, mid-90s. Super sick. Super sick. All this mayhem. Check out Taz Papaz. He's got a great documentary. Teach you all about it. All right, Kitsch Overlord, Jeff Dermer. Full pipe ripping. Come on, the manual master in the full pipe. Makes the cover of concrete. Super cool. Hang on to those old mags, folks. All right, remember when Big Brother was around? They were doing stuff that was bugging people out. The folks at National Geographic, I don't think appreciated this very much. Bill Pepper, you got the cover of Big Brother. They only ran that one once, that style. All right, another living legend, Canadian icon, global skateboard destroyer. Evidence right here, cover of Transworld. Pardon me, Big Brother. Alex Chalmers, Gary, the cat, Dave Carney's cat, is photoshopped on the cover. You gotta look hard, but Gary's on there. All right, one more Appleyard. Come on, can't say no. Look at that, so sick. Kickflip front nose, one of those early skateboard mags. So ill. All right, I'm saving the best for last here. Look at that, Barry Walsh. Embassy, Montreal, so sick. Dan Mathieu photo. Damn, some of the best backside ollies in the game. Barry Walsh, what's up? All right, Thrasher, this one just came out, like it's a day old. It just came to my newsstand. Folks, go get your Thrasher, buy a Thrasher, subscribe if you dare. Sometimes they don't come, most times they do. New Thrasher, Grant Taylor, how sick. All right, now this is a little weird. I don't know, it's just Look Back Library material. This is an obituary from the Globe and Mail. My dad gave this to me. Paul Van Doren, rest in peace, recently deceased, founder of Vans shoes. What an icon. Passed away recently. We give our respects to the family, of course. And what a footprint this man made on skateboarding. A lot of people wear Vans. Every time I see a guy wearing Vans and he's not skating, I think, oh my gosh, really? Like, you're wasting those Vans, man. You could be riding those Vans. So good job. The Van Doren family, very cool. And they've done a great job. They continue to do a great job. Steve still works for the company, and his daughter. Keep up the great work. We love it. What are we doing? We're going to Chris, Kendall, all the way across the pond. We had so much good response from our little video from Chris last time that we asked Chris to hook it up again. So Chris, take it away.
Hey, what's up guys? This is Chris Kendall from The Raw Advantage coming back at you with a fun, simple recipe. One of my favorites, something I eat a lot. You may not know it, but I'm also called a banana commander. Yeah. And it's not only because I have 3 banana tattoos, 2 of them right here, but also because I eat a lot of bananas. That's right. So we're going to be making a banana smoothie recipe with 3 of my key tips to make them super awesome. Why bananas? Well, they're really nutritious, they're super filling, they're satisfying, they're great for athletic recovery or for lots of energy, they're inexpensive, and they're available year-round. First tip, big one, this is really important, look for ripe bananas. Or just buy a bunch and let them ripen at home. You want a bunch of spots on them. The more spots, the higher antioxidant value, as well as the sweeter, the easier digesting, more anti-cancer benefits. Something like this, with the green stem and all yellow, it's not actually ripe. If you try and eat a bunch of these, you'll probably get some gas and burps and not feel the absolute best. But when they're nice and spotted, could even be more like this. They're gonna peel easier, be easier to digest, feel better in your system, and taste a heck of a lot better. So that's tip number 1. Make sure you have nice, ripe bananas. Number 2, we're gonna add as much or as little water as you like. I often like to put in just a little bit of water and sometimes even none at all if you have a powerful blender like the Vitamix. But depending upon your blender, you may need to add a bunch to make it really go and be nice and smooth. The more water you add, the more liquidy and less calorically dense it'll be. And then of course, if you don't add any water or use very little, it's gonna be more calorically dense and you can fit more bananas in your blender, which can make it a bigger meal. And tip number 3, if you want your smoothie to be a bit more like a milkshake, well, add a frozen banana or 2. All you gotta do is take your really ripe, sometimes your ripest bananas, peel them and throw them in the freezer. Chop it up, throw it in the blender with your fresh bananas and water if you like, and then you have a really nice banana milkshake. So this is a super simple, delicious treat. It can be an entire meal or it could be a snack if you like. Great way to start the day. I usually have a big banana smoothie for lunch and I'm a party animal, so 6-pack ain't gonna cut it. That's a great place to start. I'm usually going for at least a 12-pack or often 18-pack, but it took me many years to get to that place. And the key point here is just to eat as much as you enjoy. Your body in its innate wisdom will tell you when you've had enough. And if you're used to eating really high-fat foods, you're not used to eating a lot of fruits, you know, it could be 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you'll feel topped out. So eat for enjoyment, eat all the ones you like, and continue to bring in more fresh fruits and veggies in your life for better recovery, more longevity, higher levels of health, higher levels of immunity, and just to feel good. You know, bananas are a feel-good food. They release serotonin in your brain, which makes you just feel really great all the time. So let's go for it. Let's blend this up. Today I'm using a vacuum blender. You may have never heard of that. They're kind of new and they're going to be getting bigger and bigger. They make a smoother, more antioxidant rich, tastier, more colorful smoothie. You can get them ranging from like $70 to $500 on Amazon. And otherwise, whatever blender you have is great. It's just about getting more in. This is just a fun little perk. And we'll just make a really quick one here. A really good tip here is if you peel your banana and it makes a noise like a zipper, it's probably not quite ripe enough. These ones here, personally, I'd like it a little more ripe. We're just gonna throw our bananas in there. Ooh, 3 at once. and then we'll just hit go. It'll vacuum as much air as it possibly can out of it, so there's less oxidization, so there's a higher antioxidant value to the smoothie itself. It's pretty cool stuff. There we go. This is pretty fun. Check this out. When I release the valve, there we go. The air going back in there. This results in a really super smooth smoothie. And there we have it. One of my favorite meals there. This is lunch for me. Super simple, super delicious. If you guys want to hear more about why I'm not afraid of fruit sugar and this being too much, let us know in the comments below if you want to see more recipes, more information, more nutrition tips, and back to Roger in the studio.
Awesome. How cool, how cool, how cool. Thank you so much, Chris Kendall, pro skateboarder for Totally Rad Skateboards and United Riders Clothing, nutritional consultant. He's awesome. He's a pro. He knows what he's talking about. And it's here to help you skate better. So super cool. Thanks again, Chris. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome. We hope to hear from you again another time. All right, now folks, we're coming back to Canada, but we're going over east. We're going to Lake Mushamush, Nova Scotia, and I have a very special guest in Doug Morrison from Good Vibes Skateboard Ramps. Doug, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome, awesome. Introduce yourself a little bit. What do you got going these days, Doug?
Well, I've got a little company here, Good Vibes Skateboard Ramps, and what we're doing here is just trying to get kids and adults outside, get them off their devices, and just get them out skating and enjoying fun in real life.
So you're making skateboard ramps, and what's the story with that, Doug? First of all, tell us your background in skating, and are you from out east there, or where are you from, really?
I was born in Montreal. I was there until I was about 18, and then I moved west to Alberta and BC to do a bunch of snowboarding. Once I was done with that, I ended up pretty heavily entrenched in the skateboard scene in Calgary, working with the mobile skate park program there, where I started doing some building and sort of working hands-on with ramps, and it just grew from there. I did some work with New Line, and then ended up moving back to Nova Scotia here, where I worked sort of a regular job for many years, and then the pandemic kicked in and presented me, I guess, like a lot of other people, with an opportunity to sort of change the way they're living their life. So I decided to pivot into something I'm a little more passionate about, and I'm building ramps full time here now.
You're making ramps full time. Now, let's go back to Calgary there. What was going on? This is like pre-skate park era, when they had kind of, this was normal to have the prefab ramps like you're making now. That was what cities kind of had, right?
Yeah, this was in the early 2000s, when Calgary, the only concrete park was Millennium Park, which was right in the center of downtown, and Calgary was growing very, very fast. And there was a ton of people who it just wasn't realistic for them to be able to get to that one park downtown. So the city of Calgary decided to start this program called the Mobile Skate Park Program, and it was 4 parks that could get moved around every 2 weeks or every month. So every summer over the 2-month period, we'd get to 10 different communities and give the kids and adults and anyone who wanted to get out a place to come and skate that was near home.
And this led to concrete parks getting built and this and that, but you're offering ramps that people can pick up. They can, they're little launch ramps and stuff. But what happened there? Like you evolved to this now, and you're doing this full time. There's a big enough demand for this. I can't believe it. I love it. It's good to hear. Yeah,
skateboarding has been growing tremendously here in Nova Scotia. The scene is huge, and I guess in combination with the pandemic and the team sports sort of falling by the wayside, people are looking for alternative things to do, and skateboarding is an amazing activity for kids, for adults to do together. And yeah, it's been huge. It's been wonderful.
No doubt about it. Now, traditionally ramps are just made out of 2x4s and plywood, and has that evolved at all, Doug? Or are ramps just still made out of stolen wood out of back alleys, or what's happening these days in the construction world of ramps?
Well, with the prices of lumber, I wouldn't doubt that people are stealing it from the alley now. But no, we're doing things out of plywood, out of 2x4s, but we're trying to evolve into and use some different materials. There's a wonderful company here in Nova Scotia called Goodwood's Plastic, and they are taking plastic, and they're making it into a composite lumber, which we're turning into boxes and wedges, sort of smaller style ramps. And those small pieces that we're building are keeping a huge amount of plastic bags out of the landfill. Like four small ramps could keep over 30,000 bags out of the landfill. We're actually going to do a giveaway at it once we've kept 1 million bags out of the landfills. We're gonna give away a ramp.
Incredible. Wow, nice going, nice going. Well, nice to team up with some locals too, give them a little love on the show here. Nothing wrong with that. That's what we're all about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so do you think that the price of lumber, like you mentioned, it's like that all across the country here, and I'm sure globally, but are we going to get into materials like that where even vert ramps and stuff are getting made out of this sort of stuff, Doug?
I think so. I think, as lumber keeps on going up and wood becomes, less and less readily available, we're going to have to make a swing towards a different kind of material. And there's a lot of plastic kicking around. So if we can find a way to make that into something useful, that's definitely the move to make.
No doubt about it. Now, Doug, the mini ramp there in the photo, tell us about that. So you made that for somebody? Is that a customer of yours?
That was a gentleman, Josh Dobbs, contacted me. That was through an ad that I had out, looking for a mini ramp for himself and his child and his a skateboard team to use. That was the second indoor ramp that we built. It turned out super well. 2.5 feet high, 8 feet wide, right in his garage. That's way better than parking a car in there.
How has the word gotten out about your business, Doug? How did it start, and what are you using nowadays to get the word out?
It all just started on a whim with a Kijiji ad, and I got a tremendous amount of hits through that, and turned it into a Facebook page, turned it into an Instagram page, and it's busy. We've always got a 2 to 3 week lead time on everything, and it's keeping me very, very busy.
Now, is it just you, Doug, or and where do you do this? Do you have a shop at your place, or where do you make these things?
Yeah, so far it's just a one-man operation, and I'm super lucky. I just have a workshop set up in my garage, 20 feet from my front door, so I've got a pretty nice, easy commute to get to work every day.
Love the colors on those ones, Doug. What's the story on those?
The colors, traditionally, I had always done ramps in gray and black. In my head, that's what color ramps were. And one day, my girlfriend said, "Doug, people like color." So we got some colors picked out, and as soon as we put some pictures up, that was it. I haven't done a piece in gray since.
Tell me a little bit about your skateboarding, Doug. How involved did you get? Are you still involved as a skater? When did you start skating?
I got my first board when I was right around 9 years old. A Veriflex Quasar it was. Loved it, and skated super hard for a bunch of years. Ended up kind of getting away from skating, but always stayed involved with the scene for a few years while I was snowboarding. And then once snowboarding got done, I just got right back into it like I never left, and skated hard for a very long time. And I'm getting a little older now, but I still try to get out as much as I can.
Are you impressed with how big skateboarding is, and for example, the Olympics, and just in general? What do you think, Doug? Did you ever think it'd get this big when you were younger?
No, I never thought. I never did. And to be honest, I'm kind of torn on the whole thing. I think it's amazing to have it get out there and be in the Olympics, but in my heart of hearts, as a skateboarder, it's always sort of been a thing that people don't want to do, and that's what used to draw a lot of people to it. And so I'm kind of torn. But in the end, the more people on boards, the better.
For example, did you happen to tune into the Do Tour games this past weekend? They were all over the YouTube, and a lot of people tuned in. It was a big event down in the States. Did you tune into that at all, Doug?
I caught the highlights.
Okay, that's good. I kind of did the same, but I mean, everyone has a different involvement in that, and obviously that's a bit of a precursor to the Olympic Games and the style of skateboarding we're going to see there. Did you do any contests? Did you like to compete when you were skating at all? Did you enter any contests?
Was never a huge competitive skater. That was kind of something that I always really liked about skateboarding, was that you didn't need to be competitive, and everyone was just always everyone just roots for each other. It's such a positive, amazing sport. But even in competition, it's in my opinion, it's one of the only the only activities where even people who are against each other are still rooting for each other. You don't see that everywhere. But I did skate some contests back in the day, and I skated at I used to skate at the Vans Warp Tour when it used to come through Calgary. I did a couple of Warp Tours there, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we mentioned Vans earlier in the program, how Mr. Van Dorn just recently passed away. You got some guitars hanging in the back there. Did you go to the Vans Warp Tour for the music too?
I started out going for the music when it was in Montreal, and then I sort of got more into the skating than the music.
Yeah, I mean, they used to have some great acts, right? You could go and see great skating, and then you could also take in some amazing bands that you really never got to see, obviously, because they were never on tour like that. But super cool. Big props again to Vans and everything, and good job with that action. That Warped Tour was super sick, but yeah.
Absolutely. I used to love how sometimes someone that you didn't even know that skated in a band would come, and next thing you know, they'd be shredding the ramp as well.
Yeah, I hear that, eh? So, where's the future going with your business here, Doug? Is it going to keep expanding? Obviously, you're optimistic, but be realistic. Yeah, we're going to grow, right? Skating's only going to get bigger and bigger. You're going to need to add on a shop here pretty soon, right?
You bet. Yeah, I'm hoping to get bigger. Hoping eventually to be able to be more than just myself, and sort of delve into figuring out the best ways to ship ramps, wherever they need to go. But I'm patient, and things are going great here, and sort of just growing organically, and I think that's the best way to go about doing it.
You guys on the East Coast, great attitude always. Love it. That's awesome. Grow it as it comes, right? Take it day by day. That's the only way to go. Doug, let's tail this off here. Great. Thank you so much for coming on. Much appreciated. All the best to you and your business interests. And of course, people get a hold of Doug if you have any questions about Good Vibes skateboard ramps. Doug, before we go, any thanks you want to say to anybody?
I just want to thank just the Nova Scotia skate community in general. There is so many small skateboard companies here in the province, and everyone is so supportive of each other. And I just want to thank everyone for that. And please, if you're interested, look up Nova Scotia Skating and check out the companies here.
Awesome. Very cool. Doug, thanks again. Much appreciated. Take your time. Come on the show with us, and all the best with Good Vibes skateboard ramps. Super cool. Talk to you later.
Cool. Yeah, man.
Awesome. Another great guest here on Skateboard Canada. Boy, they come out of the woodwork, and we just keep pumping them out. So, folks, we couldn't do it without you. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's Roger from Skateboard Canada, and we will talk to you again next time.